Welcome and thank you for joining us today. My name is Debbie Breisblatt and I'm the head of global sustainability at Intuit. On behalf of the sustainability team, we are so excited to host this virtual prosperity pop-up and hear from 3 amazing eco-friendly businesses. Hopefully you were able to join the events live or catch the recaps on our social channels. As you all know, human activity continues to increase the concentration of greenhouse gases in our atmosphere. This is changing life as we know it, and many of us have experienced the harsh realities personally in the form of severe weather events, from wildfires to floods. At Intuit, we've been carbon neutral since 2015, but that's not enough, which is why we declared a true North goal to help reduce global carbon emissions by 50 times our own operational footprint by 2030. The work we do through our customers and you, our employees, is going to play a major part in all of this. That is why we're excited to share with you the stories of these 3 incredible businesses that have taken it upon themselves to have a positive impact on the planet through the products they create and the way they run their businesses. You can choose to support businesses like these and lower your own environmental impact starting today as we celebrate Earth Day. Before I introduce our customers for today, let's take a moment to commit to taking climate positive action. Because in the face of this climate crisis, we must act so that we can feel hopeful. As Greta Thunberg said, once we start to act, hope is everywhere. Our actions and those of the businesses like the ones we're going to meet today will turn that hope for a vibrant, equitable future into reality. Join me in welcoming our customers for today. We have 3 Trees, founded by Jenny Yu, Aya Paper Co., founded by Sivan Anderson, though joining us today is Jaquesha Zlu Cornish, Sales and Operations Manager, and Wild Prairie Soap Co., founded by Tanya Zurak. I had the opportunity to try each one of their products, and let me tell y'all, these products are awesome. If you want to purchase your own, you can find the link to their website posted in Zoom chat. In a few minutes, Dave Zazada, our Vice President of Corporate Responsibility, will interview these amazing customers to help us learn from their journey, how they run their businesses, and why sustainability is important to them. Before we get started, here are a few things to note. We want to make sure we answer your questions for each business. Please post your questions in Zoom using the Q&A feature, and we will get to them during our time together. We will also be raffling off some of their products to attendees who complete the post-event survey. Keep an eye out for that in Zoom. Our next virtual prosperity pop-up will be held in May. Thanks everyone again for being here. I'm now going to turn it over to Dave for today's pop-up. Dave, the floor is yours.
Hi everyone, I'm Dave Zazada. I'm happy to be here today to talk with you and these incredible entrepreneurs about their amazing businesses. For those who I haven't had an opportunity to meet, I support Intuit's corporate responsibility team, which includes the incredible work we do around having a positive impact on climate. We're all eager to hear the stories behind these incredible businesses, so let's jump right in. We'd love to learn more about each of your businesses, as well as the story behind the businesses and how they were started. So Jenny, love to start with you, if you could kick us off.
Hi everyone, happy Earth Day. My name is Jenny Yu. I'm the founder and CEO of 3 Trees. 3 Trees makes a line of fresh, organic nut and seed and grain milks. Our mission is to nourish the world with the most delicious, clean, plant-based foods. So that's kind of our North Star. We, everything we do, we keep our mission in mind. We're based in SF. We're a small 9-person team, still a small company. And I personally live in the Bay Area in San Mateo with my husband and 3-year-old, and we're expecting another one in July.
Awesome, thanks. And now I'd like to ask the same question to Jaquesha.
Hi everyone, I'm Jaquesha. I'm the Sales and Operations Manager here at Aya Paper Co. Aya Paper Co. was founded by a friend of mine, Sivan Anderson, back in July 2019. And she started the company because there was little to no representation with text and illustration to represent Black and Brown millennials. We represent all ages and ethnicities and holidays, but we wanted to create a company that celebrated everybody, no matter what that is, and that there was like relatable text and imagery for all like underrepresented people. So Savan started the company with about 5 to 7 SKUs and greeting cards. She used a lot of the text that she would get from friends. She would save them, just positive messages. And a lot of our greeting cards actually started with those messages, and they blown up. So now we're into business for about 2.5 years. Savan is also 9 months pregnant, so that's why she's not here today. So she's expecting her child any day. But it's been so great to work with her and with other women on our company to create more products, such as journals, calendars, pens. We offer candles, so many great things, all made from 100% recycled material and sustainable packaging.
Thanks, Chiquasia. Love the story, love the mission, and love the products, which I've also sampled. So Jenny, now over to you with Wild Prairie Soap.
Hi, happy Earth Day, everyone. So my name is Tanya Zurok, and I am the founder and president of Wild Prairie Soap Company. So I started the company back in 1999 in sort of a roundabout way. It wasn't a purposeful decision at the time. I started making natural soap at home as a way to help my youngest and, well, both of my daughters resolve their extremely dry and sensitive skin. And after making sort of a homemade several batches of soap and our entire family using them, there was an immediate difference in their skin. And so that in turn spurred me to want to share that with other people. And I started Wild Prairie Soap Company. And today, you know, we're 20 plus years in, and we sell our products online. We sell anywhere in the world from our website. We have a small boutique, which is where I'm located right now in Edmonton in Canada. And we also have distributors in both Japan and Korea. So over the last few years, we've really started to expand and try and find new export markets for amazing natural skincare products. Yeah, and I'm really happy to be here today. So thanks for having me.
Well, appreciate the overview, and also appreciate hearing how you started the business based on a problem, you know, that you were dealing with in your family, kind of personally. So it's great to kind of hear the journey that you've been on.
Thank you.
Jenny, I'd love to ask you a question. Could you tell us what you love most about running your own business, and also, you know, where do you sell your products?
Yeah, I get to be my own boss lady. Just kidding. That's one of the things I love. No, in all seriousness, I think the most rewarding thing, and sometimes the hardest thing, is building a culture, building a high functioning team, but really sort of, you know, it's the people that we work with day in and day out. And so, you know, that I think is something I really enjoy, is my colleagues and my team. I also really, I think it's really rewarding to know that I'm setting an example for my daughter. I mean, she's still kind of young, but, you know, sort of, I think to teach her that the importance of perseverance and working hard, like that strong work ethic. I think that is really one of the most things I love most about having my own business.
That's awesome. And
in terms of where we're sold, yeah, you asked where we're sold. Yeah, that's really important. I would love for everyone to try our product and let us know what we think. Again, we're a small company, so if you just email us, it'll probably come directly to me. So our products are available at natural grocery stores across the country, nationwide in the US, stores like Whole Foods, Sprouts, Fresh Thyme, Wegmans, but also probably your local natural grocery store. You know, I think it's great to support small business. That's where we got started. We're ourselves a small business. So look for us at these smaller independent grocery stores, as well as the bigger national retail accounts that I mentioned. And online, we're available via Instacart, as well as the Whole Foods online /Amazon delivery service.
Thanks for that. And quick follow-up question for you. So your business is almost 10 years old. How old is your daughter?
She is 3. So I started working on the business about 9 years ago now. At the time, there weren't any clean plant-based dairy alternatives. Everything had gums, thickeners, emulsifiers. So I really saw an opportunity to make something that was better, healthier, and really celebrates the, naturally sort of the nourishing ingredients that we have directly from nature.
Great. All right. Now, Jaquacia, so your business was started, about the same time as Jenny's daughter was born, it sounds like. And now that you're a few years in, was wondering if you could share with us, what's the one thing you wish you knew before the business was started?
One thing I wish that we knew was to not be afraid to ask for what we wanted. I think that there was a lot of fear in the beginning to pitch because we were such a small business and we didn't have that many people on the team. We only have 4 people now, but Savannah and I are the only people that are New Jersey based. And it was hard for us to see ourselves in these major retailers at the scale we were going. So I will never forget the one time I was in a call and I was super nervous. And I was like, I don't think it's good. I don't think we should do it. And I was like, no, I'm going to talk to them. And this was Kohl's. And we didn't see our target audience shopping there or anything like that. And as soon as I got to meet their team, the conversation just started to roll and my personality came out. They loved us. And that really was our biggest order ever. And I think that if I was, holding on to that fear of just speaking and bigging the company up, we would have never, had that conversation. So I think that taking pride in what you offer, if you have something great, don't be afraid to let everybody know that you offer something of quality, because people are definitely willing to listen and invest in you.
It's a great story. And then after that experience, did that just kind of build on itself as you started to meet with other potential retailers?
Absolutely. That started in 2020. And when I joined the team, I was on the team to help to get us into a retailer. So I was reaching out to smaller boutiques and it took us a while to actually get in, maybe a month and a half, but we went from 0 in March of 2020 to 30 by July of 2020. And I think that was very much due to me just actively reaching out and telling our story. People were listening. And then Kohl's then started to recommend us to Nordstrom, Whole Foods. We were getting calls hey, our friends at Kohl's said you guys are amazing. And I was like, look at these doors opening. It was so good. And they're all continued partners of us now. So it's just great for us to be in business for, 2.5 years. And these people are continued buyers of us. So we are very fortunate.
Well, there's nothing better than having your current customers recommend you to new customers. That's for sure.
I know. So
clearly into the quality of the products and the quality of the team behind the products. So it's a great story.
Thank you.
All right, Tanya, I'd like it if you could please tell us a little bit about how your business has evolved and adapted, in particular the past couple of years. And has there been any change to how you serve your customers? Any other changes you'd like to speak to?
Yeah, I mean, like everybody, the pandemic had a large effect on our business, not only, supply chain issues, packaging shortages. So we had to adapt certain products and choose different containers or ways to package them. We also we changed to curbside pickup. So people could, if they were local, they could place their order and we would pack it and it would be brought out to them if they so chose. But we also fully realized at the very beginning of the pandemic that, we offered a product that was really, really necessary for health and hygiene and to protect yourself during the pandemic. And that, of course, is soap and hand washing. And, I just knew that there was a large part of our community who would not have access to perhaps good soap or soap at all. And so we started a campaign where we supported a local community service organization, and we called upon our customer base and said, we want to donate soap. And so for every bar you purchase, we'll donate a full kilogram of soap to this organization. And the response was incredible. Everybody who placed orders, like so many people wrote notes and said, this is such a great campaign. I'm glad I can help. And we were able to donate thousands of bars of soap to that first community service group. And so we continued it. And, to this day, we try and run one campaign every month or two. We call it our Accessible Soap for All campaign. We still get customers sending us notes with their orders that say, everything I purchased, please add that to the donation. And we just feel really good to be able to help a portion of our community who might not have access to soap, and especially high quality soap like we produce. And that's, I guess, been a really positive thing that's come out of the last few years for us, is being able to do that and support our communities.
Well, it's really inspirational on how you use this as an opportunity to also give back, really kind of proving it's not about either driving your business or doing good. It's really both. And when you do both,
Right.
it just amplifies the impact. This is a quick follow-up. I mean, your business has been around now for 20 plus years, and no doubt you had a number of pivots along the way. Were the pivots you had to make during the pandemic more challenging than the pivots that you made maybe even earlier on in your business as it was growing?
I would say yes. I mean, sometimes it's hard to remember some of the challenges we faced early on. I mean, it's always hard being a self-startup business, and there's always, in the beginning and throughout different parts of your business, there might be financial challenges or staffing challenges, but definitely the pandemic has been the most concentrated amount of issues to conquer that we've ever faced as a company, for sure. But, our team is really great. Everybody really was able to be flexible in terms of making sure our work areas were sanitized, wearing masks, wearing gloves, dealing with customers in a new way. So we all just sort of pitched in and changed, a lot of our protocols and our ways of doing business. So yeah, it's definitely been the most challenging time of business for us, for sure.
Well, congrats on navigating a difficult time.
Thank you.
Jenny, I would like to ask, now that your business is approaching the 10-year milestone, which congrats on that, it's a big milestone. What about the future of your business really excites you?
Yeah, thank you. We've really built our business sort of organically and bootstrapped over the last 9 years. So, there's some real pros to that. I think the reputation we've built and the relationships we've built with our retailers is something that is built over time, not with marketing dollars. So it's very solid. We started at farmers markets. I was hand making, bottling milks at a commercial kitchen and selling at farmers markets. So we've known our local partners for a long time. And I remember driving around a refrigerated van that had 500,000 miles on it, crying every time I would cross the bridge that it wouldn't break down. But so, I think that laid a strong foundation. And so, that's like a really strong foundation for future growth. And I think we've earned the trust that consumers have in our brand over time as well. So, they read our ingredient list, they see that we use the highest quality ingredients, we use only real food that you'd find in your kitchen pantry, and we don't take any shortcuts. And so, like, for instance, we use real vanilla instead of natural flavor, which isn't really that natural. You wouldn't stock natural flavor in your kitchen pantry, right? So I think what I'm excited about is the platform or brand that we've built. And because we have consumers and retail partners trust, when we launch new products and when we go into new categories, even, they are excited and excited to give us a try. And so we have that opportunity to grow.
And just a follow-up, I mean, when you think about your growth going forward, based on what you've learned these first 10 years, where do you see the growth coming from? Is it new products, or is it just scaling the portfolio that you currently have today to more retailers, more distributors?
Yeah, it's both. Definitely, we're still on the small side when it comes to CPG brand. So it's our dream to make our product that's very pure, fresh, and healthy, available to everyone. So we haven't yet crossed over to the conventional channel. So accounts such as Target, Safeway, Walmart. We're not in any of those yet. So there's opportunity on the distribution side, but for sure, a lot of the growth will be fueled by new products. I think if you look around your grocery store, there's a lot more plant-based now than there was even, 2 years ago. People are always looking to eat healthier, right? Without sacrificing taste. So I think there's a lot of opportunity. A lot of the plant-based foods are plant-based, but they may be highly processed. And our mission of providing healthful, nourishing food directly from nature means we use simple whole food ingredients. So there's a lot of opportunity in the new product development area.
That's awesome. All right, Jaquacia, wanted to ask you, as you think about these first few years, can you share how you have really grown and scaled the business, like what the keys were in doing that?
Absolutely. So I think that because we had such a like reading cards and stationery is so essential just in life, and getting back to spreading the joy, actually writing our loved ones, our friends and family. We have those products to do that. And so in the beginning, we were so focused on people actually touching these products and feeling the difference in the paper. And that was typically, pop-up, like in-person pop-ups. And then COVID happened and that all went out the window. So what we knew, it was just not going to work for us because everybody was inside. And so we had to really take a step back and figure out how to scale the business from working from home. And we hired people. So this was a major benefit for us to hire me because I was brought onto the team to help get us into retailer stores. Savon didn't have the time to manage that while like processing orders from e-commerce and things like that. So I was really honing in on getting our business and products out there. And then we also had somebody to help run social media because that was a major help throughout those times. And with those two things like going hand in hand, we were able to like elevate our e-commerce sales through social media platforms, including Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. Like we weren't really posting that much because everybody was like seeing us in person. And it was a big adjustment, but that person that was super good in social media, she was like studying tactics and marketing and strategy and hashtags and all that stuff that really helped with us. And then with me, I was able to reach out to these bigger brands, smaller boutiques to get our products in physical stores so that when the world was like slowly starting to open back up, people can then shop our products on shelves. And that really helped us scale the business.
Yeah, it's interesting because your business, really the majority of the life of your business has been during the pandemic, and there obviously have been so many challenges for so many as a result of the pandemic, and that gets a lot of the news. But there's also been some great stories that have come from entrepreneurs yourself who have use this time as an opportunity to really grow a new business. And so really commend you for, being able to navigate such a difficult environment and use it to grow and have your business thrive. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
All right, shifting back to Tanya. Tanya, so based on your 22 years of experience running an environmentally conscious business, what advice would you give to someone looking for ways to personally be more sustainable?
One of our company mottos is taking care of your skin shouldn't be complicated. And that's sort of the basis that I came into it with, where I knew that there had to be a simple solution or something that wasn't a really difficult reach in order to help my daughter's skin condition. So, I've taken that kind of throughout my personal life. I grew up as a kid on a farm, so everything was really sustainable on a farm. You didn't waste food. That's one of my big personal bents that I have, I guess, in my own life. I try and buy only what I need and try and not throw out a lot of what I purchase before we even use it. So that's one way I would encourage people to be sustainable. But in terms of like our industry and skincare, water-free products are really becoming popular, and for a good reason. Water is our most precious resource. And there are a lot of great products you can purchase that are now water-free. For example, we started selling a couple of years ago solid shampoo and conditioner bars. And so they are water-free formulas. So not only are you not getting a bottle, so you're not getting that plastic, you're also getting a solid form of a product that you would normally have as a liquid. So they're usually, 60+%, 85% plus water. So reducing water in your skincare products is really important. Even using bar soap is a great way to reduce water. If you're using a lot of hand and body wash, not only are they full of detergent, which, isn't sustainable or eco-friendly for our planet, but it is also full of water. So if you're using a bar soap, you're also avoiding that water usage. So choosing products that are low and zero waste and then as water-free as possible are some kind of the things I would recommend to people that are really easy changes to make.
Well, thanks for that advice, especially on Earth Day, something we can all really take to heart. So, okay, so now I have two questions for all three of you. And the two questions are, first, how is your business sustainable? And the second question is, why is sustainability important to you? So Jenny, can we start with you on those two
Sure.
questions?
Yeah, so at the core, we're a plant-based company. So being plant-based and going plant-based really helps cut your carbon footprint. Dairy takes three times as much greenhouse gas emissions and takes 9 times as much land. So in general, animal just requires much more resources than plant-based. So if we could just sort of reduce or eliminate consuming animal products, that would help a lot. And then secondly, we partner closely with our farmers. For instance, for almonds, I know almonds gotten a really bad rap in recently for water usage. The reality is it's not quite so simple. All of agriculture takes a lot of water. An avocado will take 300 gallons of water, right? It's mind blowing. But, if you ever, we plant a small vegetable garden in the back, it takes a lot of water to grow vegetables, So the question of water is a really big one. It's just sort of where we direct our water, that is a big question, but we try to do our best by partnering with farms that use solar panels that direct water directly to the roots so that precious water isn't wasted. And then in terms of our packaging, that's also a big one. We've examined the different packaging, and it's also one where it's not so simple, where it's like, oh, one is good and the other is bad. There's pros and cons to each. And we've chosen PET because it's the most widely accepted material at curbside recycling centers and actually has the highest percentage of actually getting recycled. But we try to do even better. End of last year, we switched to 100% recycled PET, which means that all the bottles come from, recycled plastic, means they've had prior lives. So we're not creating any new virgin plastic. But I wanted also to add that, I think sustainability, for sure, environmental sustainability is top of mind and super important. But we're also very proud that we're sort of financially sustainable. We're a bootstrapped company. We pay attention to bottom line, not just growth. We're not backed by large investors. So, I think that it's important to be sustainable because, we're stewards of our planet as well as our resources, the money that we have. We should be conscientious stewards of all of that.
It's a great lesson for any entrepreneur, especially those just starting out. So thanks for that. Okay, Jaquasia, same questions for you. How's your business sustainable, and why is sustainability important to you?
Yes, Aya Paper Co. is sustainable because it is every product is made from 100% recycled material. So again, no new waste is created. For our greeting cards and notebooks, anything that's a paper product that will be recycled paper, we had to make sure our binding team knows, and even when anything is shipped to us, not to cover the products in plastic. We also don't ship anything with that as well, just to not create any waste. We ship to all of our vendors, wholesalers with little to no ways to throw out. So we really try to make sure everything is sustainable as possible. And it's important to us because we are in a city, Newark, New Jersey is where we're based, and that is a underdeveloped city. We have a lot of resources here, but we don't have easy access to things that are better for us at all, I would say, in terms of how we eat, just our livelihood. And our office is actually directly across from a waste management company. So every day when we go to work, we're actually just seeing the waste pile up. And it's just a reminder to us that we're doing this to lower that pile across the street. And it's been great. I think that a lot of people, it's hard for us to sometimes get that message across to our buyers because a lot of people aren't used to not having plastic. We have greeting cards. So when they're on the shelves and people want to touch it, you know, they're like, hey, well, what if fingerprints get on it? Or what if this happens or that? And it's like, hey, like we are really firm in our mission and we can't budge on that. So that has been like the biggest challenge, I think, not really for us to stay true to that, but just to adjust the world a little bit to know like you don't have to create more ways to deliver joy. So yes.
I love that, and love the motivation that you get from the fate of having a waste management company across,
Right across.
across the street from you. It just kind of adds to your story, right?
Yes.
So, and Tanya, if you could also answer those two questions for us.
Sure. So I'll start with why it's important to us. You know, we're in an industry of natural cosmetics and body care. So of course it has to be at the core of what we do every day. We choose, so the ways we are sustainable is similar to Jenny, you know, our products are plant-based. We choose well-sourced, ethically sourced ingredients, raw materials to make our products. We also use packaging that is either compostable, recyclable, or zero packaging. So that's really been a big step for us over the last few years. We're trying to figure out more and more ways to do zero packaging. And actually, I'm sitting in our boutique location at our manufacturing plant right now. We have a small boutique in the front, and when we built it out, we also incorporated a refill station. So not only can customers come here and shop for what they want, but they can bring their own empty and clean containers, and they can choose how much they want, and they can use their own container when they come. So in that way, we're not putting the product into a container for them, they're bringing a container in. So we're helping to kind of lower that environmental footprint that we have. So yeah, it feels really good to be able to offer that to our customers and know that we're trying to always do better. And I think that's all anyone can do. You know, I don't think that any company or any single person will always be perfect in, you know, being sustainable and being a mindful steward of the earth. But, you know, if everyone does small things every day, that's a giant win for everybody. So.
Well, it certainly sounds like doing small things every day, and really in all aspects of the business, the products themselves and the way that they're developed and what you put in them to the way they're packaged and ultimately distributed. So really a 360 approach to sustainability. So congrats on that.
Thank you.
All right. I know that each of you has been a QuickBooks user at some point, which we certainly appreciate. Wanted to ask a couple of you which QuickBooks products you currently use to run your business. And so, Jaquasia, I was wondering if maybe you could go first.
Sure. So we mainly use it as a company for invoicing, budget tracking, and bookkeeping. I use it for invoicing and it's super seamless. I'm able to save our, repeat customers, input the information for the first time and super easily, tracking how we're going to ship, who we're shipping with, shipping costs, automated calculations, like everything is super seamless and easy. So that's probably my favorite one too.
Great. Tanya, would you mind sharing as well which QuickBooks product you use to run the business?
Sure. So we currently use QuickBooks Pro, and the majority of our use is in invoicing, and payroll. And we've been using it for a long, long time. So I'm pretty familiar with most parts of QuickBooks, but when it comes to like the deeper accounting stuff, my bookkeeper is truly an expert in QuickBooks. So she reconciles all of our month ends in it. She prepares everything for our accountant in it. So it's a highly beneficial tool that we've used for a long, long time. And I love going into the sales charts and, seeing where we were and a year ago compared to this year. And so I love playing around with different parts of it. It's a great tool.
Great. Well, we appreciate the feedback and appreciate your support of the product. Okay, last few questions, and we're going to do these rapid fire. So let's have some fun and just try to answer with the first thing that comes to your mind. All right, Jenny, you're going to be first. So what is your most popular milk and which one is your personal favorite?
Okay, our most popular milk is our original unsweetened almond milk. It's just so simple, but sometimes doing simple is actually really hard, doing simple well. So this is what it looks like. It's just 2 ingredients, organic almonds and water, nothing else. So you can really taste the almond taste really comes through. We have to use the freshest almonds because there's nothing else, And then let's see. Okay, so my favorite, so we have 5 SKUs, not a big portfolio, and they're like my children. I love them all. It's hard to pick a favorite, but as a parent, you might know you secretly do have a favorite. So this black sesame milk may have to be my favorite because it's more unique, a bit more intimidating to most people who aren't familiar with black sesame. But when you try it, you'll be so amazed. It's like a healthy chocolate milk. So delicious. And black sesame is really actually very high in calcium, so it's naturally nourishing, which I love. Getting nourishment without sacrifice, healthy nourishment without sacrificing taste.
Awesome, great. All right, Jaquasia, what is your most popular product category? You have a lot of products, number of categories. So what's the most popular category, and what is personally your favorite item that you offer?
I think our most popular category it's going to be our everyday cards, but in those we have like affirmation based cards. So those are like our text. I have some here. This is like an everyday one, but this is like one of our OGs, and she still sells out all the time. And that I think this you grown just applies to all ages. You give this to a 5-year-old, a 65-year-old, they're all are good. Other text-based cards. So that's like our most popular, like every day, I should say. I'm gonna throw in my favorite because this is my baby, but I'm super big into astrology. Earth Day it's super good because we start off in Taurus season, and I love Tauruses. If any of you guys are Tauruses, and we yes, love it. So this card is for you. I created an iAstrology collection. I threw it in there. And we have all 12 signs covered with both art and text. So the outside is the bull. And then the inside, I wrote these words. A lot of our cards are blank. So when people saw this for the first time, they were like, oh my God, so much text inside. And they list out like all the characteristics of each sign. And then I wrote a message for each one. Super filled. It doesn't say like happy birthday or anything like that, but it's more of a reminder to say like, thank you for being you, another form of an affirmation. And I did that so that people can like buy products, not only for their loved ones and friends, but to buy for themselves as well, to like hang it up right here, just have on the wall, read it, just to remind you that you're awesome and amazing. And I love it. That's probably my favorite.
Well, I love how unique all the products are in your portfolio, I have to say, as I know I was going through them and kind of the personal story behind them. So that's great.
Oh my God, Scorpios and Leos. I wish I had all of them here, but go on the site and get yours. We have a whole card set of 12, so you could get all of them for the price of $50, all 12 signs. And then you can also get your individual ones. You could give to your friends, all that good stuff.
All right, Tanya, how about you? What's your bestseller and which one is your favorite?
So our best-selling category is our natural bar soap. you know, one of the benefits of the soap is that we make an oval bar. So a lot of handcrafted soap is made in a square or a chunk. So you're always wearing away the edges before it feels good on your skin. So our shape is oval. So it always feels ergonomically good in your hands. We use 50% olive oil to make all of our soap. That makes it super nourishing for dry skin, but it also makes it extra long lasting, which is really important in a bar soap. Typically, a commercial bar soap will be filled with fillers. It'll be filled with preservatives. Our soap has no preservative. It's naturally preserved, I guess, just by the saponification process. And then one of the barriers to using bar soap that we learned early on is that a lot of people would say, well, I don't like bar soap because it makes a mess in the bathroom or it dissolves too quickly. So if your soap is natural and it dissolves too quickly, it's not made properly. So it can be made better. But we did start selling our stone soap plate. So this removes that barrier for people who think it gets soft or mushy and doesn't last as long, because this keeps your soap dry in between uses constantly. So if your bar is sitting, here's a bar of, this is actually our Classic Man, one of our best sellers. So when your soap is sitting in your bathroom on this stone soap plate, it's never soft, never mushy, and it lasts twice as long, if not longer, than it would without. So those are probably our two biggest selling products that we love.
And so they're your best selling, and they happen to be the one that you love the most as well.
Yeah, like I can't travel anywhere without my own soap. I take it, it doesn't matter where I go in the world. I even take my stone soap plate with me when I travel, which, you know, is maybe a bit pushing it in terms of like, really, do you need to take that? But that's how much I love it. So I never leave home without my own soap and my soap plate. So yeah.
All right, great. Jenny, back to you. What is the best piece of advice you've received?
Oh gosh. We use your time wisely. You know, we have limited time on earth, and everything takes time. Everything you do, you know, you want to build something, you want to achieve something, it takes time. So follow your dreams, stick to your ideals, and invest the time, because if you don't do that and jump from thing to thing, it's hard to really have success. So, you know, perseverance and invest your time wisely.
Time are the greatest resource that we have, and the one thing you can't get more of. So great advice. Okay, Jaquasia, what is something you can't live without?
I'm gonna have to say two things. Music. I love music. And coffee.
Is there a particular kind of music and coffee you like?
Yes, I love R&B music or just soulful music. I love a good like melody, anything I could like sing in my head or just hum. And I love R&B music. And for coffee, I love caramel lattes with like triple shots, oat milk, or you know, anything. I love the alternative milk options now. So now I can drink coffee with ease as much as possible. But I am addicted to caramel lattes.
Oh, that's so good. All right, Tanya, again, with over 20 years in business, what are the three things that have contributed to the success of your business and to you as a small business owner? Three things.
Our customers, our team of producers and support staff that we have, and I think just the support of, you know, my family and the people that are in my personal life. So those have been definitely the three things that have been most important.
Great. All right, I think we have time for just one more question. So back to you, Jenny. Can you tell us what inspires new flavors?
Yeah, farmers markets, foraging in nature, and my experimenting in my home kitchen.
How long does it typically take you to, you know, when you have an idea for a new flavor, or do you not like actually start out with thinking, hey, I want to come up with a new flavor? Does it just kind of happen organically to you?
It can be on either end of the spectrum. Sometimes it's very fast, you know, and sometimes you're thinking and thinking and thinking. So you have to let it like brew. But sometimes, yeah, you're struck by inspiration and it can be very fast.
Okay, great. All right. Well, thank you all so much for spending time with us. All been just so inspiring and just love your stories and how personal they are. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. And I'm actually going to hand it back over to Debbie, who's going to do our live Q&A. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dave. For the last few minutes, if you'd like to open the floor to questions. But before we do that, I have one quick question for all three of you. How did you come up with the name of your business? So Tanya, let's start with you.
Sure. So as I said earlier, I grew up on a farm. So northern Alberta here in Canada, which is the prairies. So that sort of inspired the prairie part of our name. And then wild just to me spoke to like the origin of ingredients and where things would have been like 1,000 years ago, like out in nature. So, when I thought about the natural part and then sort of my heritage and put those two together, I just came up with Wild Prairie Soap Company.
Beautiful. Jaquacia, how did Sivan come up with the name of Aya Paper Co.?
Yes, I said that so many times. But it's funny, she actually came up with the name from her childhood nickname, which like 4 of us call her. And that's Yaya, but she dropped the Y and got Aya. And when we say that too, and she didn't know like all the different meanings for Aya. So it kind of just fit. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but there are a few like different meanings in different languages. And it just kind of read like super nice, like the Aya Paper Co. And yeah, that's how that became a thing.
I love that. I have a nickname, but I won't share it because I don't think it would make for good business. But Jenny, how about you? What was the inspiration behind Three Trees?
I've always loved food, and I was taught at a very young age to appreciate nourishment and food all around us from my grandmother, who lived in Taiwan. And in Taiwan is very mountainous with a lot of forests, so we would hike through the forest, and she would forage and show me what plants or seeds or flowers were edible. So that's kind of an inspiration, where the forest is this abundant source for clean, pure food ingredients. And in Chinese, the character for forest is made up of 3 of the characters for tree. So 3 trees make up the forest. And again, that really just aligned with my vision for the brand of, clean, plant-based nourishing. And it's also a nod to my grandmother, who was a real inspiration to me because she raised like 5 children on her own. And that generation in place was very special.
I love that imagery. That's beautiful. So just a reminder to everyone to feel free to message in the Zoom Q&A any questions you have, and you can find that Q&A tool on the bottom of the screen. So yeah, we already have some questions piling in, so I'll just start down the list. Back to you, Tanya. What is your most popular men's soap?
So Classic Man is probably, it's our longest and oldest men's bar, but we also do a line of beer soap, and we're relaunching a brand new set of beer soap this spring. So what we've done is we've worked with 6 craft brewers, and it seems to have a real attraction for men, because I don't know, maybe men like beer more than women. I don't know if that's a stereotype, but so beer adds a really great quality to soap. The yeast and the sugars in the beer add a great nourishment. They add vitamins, and they create like a really nice luxurious wash. So you can watch for our new beer soap 6-pack launching this spring.
Amazing. Yes, all those men in the audience, keep a lookout for that. I think I will be buying that for my husband. So Jenny, question for you, and you may have already addressed this already, but your business seems so competitive. And so we wanted to ask what makes your product stand out compared to the others who are creating products in the same plant-based milk space.
I think taste is one really important aspect when it comes to food. So better tasting, I think, is one of the things that makes us stand out. And again, sort of the attention to detail and the thoughtfulness behind every decision we make. So, the packaging, the ingredients, every ingredient that we select, I think that's what really makes it stand out, the attention to detail and thoughtfulness.
Wonderful. And then actually, this is a question to each panelist. What is the most rewarding aspect of owning your business and what inspires your success? So Jaquasia, I'll start with you and Savan.
Yes, I think that the most rewarding thing is that I can work with my best friend. I don't think that we ever, we knew that we weren't going to work for anybody else, but like growing up, we just didn't know that this was going to be it. And I think with her, like, passion for creative design. She does a lot of the illustrations for the cards, and my passion for the gift of gab and just speaking to everyone, and photography was a major thing that I've done. We kind of blended those together, and I think that our like strong points like help the other. So that was really good. And then like we're able to create our own lives and live how we want. Like Jenny said earlier, it's really good to be able to not have to take meetings at 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning because we want to do yoga, like, or we want to, go get coffee at our favorite place, like, grocery shop intentionally and do that in the morning because at night all the good groceries are gone. So making our own schedule and like being intentional about like doing things that we want to do and how we want to do it, I think is the best thing about working for ourselves.
I need to take lessons from you because I'm working a lot. I love to be able to
It took a while, like making that change. We're like, okay, everyone, do not take meetings before 10 a.m. Like we have to, like, it was obviously we do, but it was just like we kind of made it a company policy. So that was good.
No, I love that intentionality. And yeah, Jenny, for you, what's the most rewarding aspect of owning your own business and what inspires your success?
I think it's being able to be creative and seeing your handprints all over, what's on shelf. So I still get a real thrill when I see someone with 3 trees on the conveyor belt at the checkout, at the checkout counter. Yeah, but also, I think I'm also very to sort of tie to the previous question about what sets us apart is we're one of the very few, if not maybe the only plant-based milk distributed nationally that is bootstrapped, that is a small business, and I think that hopefully consumers also care about who's behind the business, and when they know they're supporting small business, I think it's nice. So.
Yeah, excellent. And actually, we have a more business related question for each of you. For your businesses, how important is advertising? So essentially, prioritization within your budget for ad spend. Tanya, I'll start with you.
Yeah, so we don't do a lot of advertising that isn't just online. So it seems to be the way of the world, back in the day, because we've been around for a bit of a hot minute. We used to do ads in like trade publications or other sort of local things. But nationally we did trade publications, but now almost all of our ad budget goes into online social media, Facebook, Google, all the big players, because that's where people's attention is. So.
Jaquasia, do you want to take that next in terms of how important is advertising to your business?
Yes, it's definitely very important. I think that, over the past couple of years, we had to really strategize on quarters. So now we kind of break it up into each one and see, okay, if like we know that we have a heavy quarter, like Q2 is filled with like a lot of holidays. So we'll make sure that we advertise properly so that we are spending money. It's on like a campaign shoot or something that may be mainstream enough to like market more products rather than like doing it on an off season like August where we don't really have anything like coming up. So I think that is really good. And we also realize that it just doesn't have to be ads online. So we try to do as many interviews as possible when somebody on the team has time, write-ups, things like that. We also have a PR team that we work with to try to get our work out to different editors because we realize write-ups really do help. So yeah, I think it's really important.
Well, and we're so happy to have all of you here sharing out your products. Jenny, same question to you. How important is advertising?
We don't spend a lot on advertising simply because we don't have the budget for it. We've tried social media, but I think without spending a lot, it's hard to see the results. So we focus our marketing dollars on promotions. So when you see a yellow tag on sale at the store on shelf, that's the brand, us funding that. So we try to put our product on sale so people will be attracted to it, try it, and hopefully realize how good it is and convert, to us. And then demos, sampling. So having people stand in the store and, help pass out samples, the trial, that's where we spend our marketing dollars.
Well, and speaking of samples, if you can share with us what your next flavor of milk is going to be. Understand if it's under wraps or surprise, but if you wanted to.
It is under wraps. We love to take your ideas. We're always looking for healthy, ingredients. So something, so different plant-based ingredients, and also maybe sometimes we think more out there and we're thinking like some floral types of milks. So I don't know how people feel about that, but yeah, we're working on it.
Awesome. And then some of the final questions. So folks, if you still have questions, we have a couple of minutes left to take them. I have one. So at Intuit, we have a concept of values. So what would you say is the single most important value or guiding principle for your business? Tanya, I'll turn that back to you.
I would say it comes back to that simplicity and, choosing how we formulate, how we package, how we approach our customers, just keeping it sort of quite simple. I would say that's one of our core values. And then another one would be just, recognizing the needs of our customers and being able to respond to what those needs are. And those needs change over different time periods, as the pandemic showed us. So I think that, flexibility and simplicity would be two values that we choose to really follow hard.
Wonderful. Jaquasia, what about you and Aya Paper Co.?
Yes, I would say we, staying true to the mission of, again, packaging, like you said, Tanya, making sure that we don't create any more waste for the earth. And I think now, as well as, I didn't really mention, but the affordable aspect of the cards, we also try to stay true to. We don't, a typical card could be, $8.99, $9.99 on the shelves, but we try our best to keep every greeting card at $5 so that it's affordable to everyone. And we, again, are not creating waste.
That's awesome. Jenny, how about you?
We value moments of connectedness to nature, so trying to have a little bit of nature in your life every day, even if it's just a plant at your desk. That's something that we think is really important. And in terms of our internal culture, we value entrepreneurship, which encompasses a lot, but most of all, I think it means like striving for excellence and feeling pride and ownership of your work. So.
Thank you for sharing that. And then one final question, because we are almost at time for each of you. How are you and your company celebrating Earth Day today? So Jaquasia, I'll start it off with you.
I'm prepping for our Earth Day weekend pop-up, which is in person tomorrow at the High Line in New York City. So if anybody would like to come see us, we are going to be in person. I'm so excited for it. Can't wait to see the beautiful people, flowers, trees at the High Line. Is so beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to the office to pack that up.
Oh, I wish I was in New York to attend. That sounds amazing. Yeah, for all the attendees out there who are in the New York City area, please go. Jenny, how about you? How are you all celebrating Earth Day today?
We are all supposed to spend some time in nature today, just being close to nature, and appreciating it. And also we're working from home today. That's, we actually do quite a few number of days a week, but today we happen to all be working from home, so we're saving on the commuting.
Appreciate the reduction in commuter emissions. Tanya, how about you? How are you all celebrating Earth Day today?
I think we're just taking a focus on what we value, and like Jenny said, being connected to the earth in a special way and in a personal way today. But we're also we've put out a sale on all of our products on our website for today only, and we've highlighted like our solid waterless shampoo bars and highlighted our bar soap. So just sort of encouraging that consumerism that chooses more natural and earth-friendly products. So
well, hopefully we will all embrace that ethos. And so just a huge thank you to Jenny, Jaquacia, Tanya, and everyone else for joining our virtual prosperity pop-up. If you want to order any of their products and help support these businesses, check out the link we just posted in the Zoom chat. These customers can also be found on our Prosperity Marketplace. And if you want to take even more planet positive action, visit the newly launched sustainability site on Insight to find channels, resources, and tools to help you take those next steps. We're holding these pop-ups on a regular basis with the goal of continuing to support our small businesses during these ever-changing times. We'd love some feedback, so keep an eye out for a short survey in your inbox. And thanks again for joining and supporting our small businesses, and enjoy the rest of your Earth Day and have a great weekend, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
You.
thank
Bye.
you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.